Welcoming you guys back to Overtime. I got my man Wally Akinso from Fox Sports Radio. Wally, what's up, man?
What is going on, DH? How is everything?
Hey, man, everything is everything, bro. You know, I'm glad you're in the building with us tonight, man.
Hey, it's a blessing, man. I'm glad to be here with you.
Hey, man, look, Wally. So I gotta talk to you real quick. The Redskins yesterday gave us a scare, and you get to see it every Sunday from the press box, man. So first of all, just tell me your thoughts about the game yesterday, man.
Well, it was an interesting game. Obviously people know about Jay Gruden's comments about it being a code red after the Jets game, saying that the Tampa Bay game was a code red. And how I interpreted it was that obviously he's latched on to Kirk Cousins as his guy.
Yeah.
And if the way it went, the way it looked in the first half, and it continued that way, we could have been seeing these two individuals outside of the Redskins franchise in the near future. So that's why I felt like he thought it was a cold red game. So at that first half, it was 24-0. It was like, okay, it seemed like for Redskins fans, here we go again. We saw this happen with the same squad last season with RG3 as the starting quarterback. So it looked bad. It looked grim. It looked like there was no passion by that team. It seemed like the defense has been exploited since the Atlanta game.
Mm-hmm.
So it just didn't look good. Then all of a sudden, Kirk Cousins had a good drive towards the end of the first half. And then the second half, it started with just the momentum kept trickling in. Defense, luckily, got a stop in the second half, that first drive in the second half, and then the offense came and scored a touchdown. Obviously, you saw that onside kick with gutsy call by Jay Gruden.
Yeah.
With the kicker Hopkins, who seems to have a knack for that. Even though it's the first one the Redskins did recover, but he was very close to land the prior two times he did an onside kick. And then the defense, they traded field goals, and then Kirk Cousins came clutch at the end. But the big play, and Jake Gruden said, and asked him this question during the press conference on Sunday. I asked him, how do you feel about, what was his thought of Rashard Breeland going from the other end of the field to stop Doug Martin on that?
That's a big play, man.
On that run. Yeah, and Jake Gruden said that was the biggest play of the game. That was the play of the game. And, unfortunately, Rashard Breeland pulled a hamstring on that play, hustling to, take that tackle.
Yeah.
So it just shows, regardless of anything, the players think good for Jay Gruden. They played hard for him, and they got the W. But this is a big win for Kirk Cousins. To all the Kirk Cousins haters out there, and I've been deemed the RG3 supporter.
Yeah.
But you got to be real in a situation where you got to admit that this man Kirk Cousins has improved compared to last season. And what I mean by it is that not in all elements of a passer, he does have his flaws as a passer, but how he bounces back from adversity. I think, we can all see as spectators of football and as spectators of him doing his thing, that he's improved in that aspect of stepping up when he's facing adversity.
Right.
So at least I think Redskins fans should feel confident when they see Kirk Cousins able to bounce back from being down 24. Don't forget, man, this is the first time this team has ever came back from a deficit this big. So this is history in the making.
Absolutely, man. And just being there on the inside, going down 24-0 in the first half, how bad was the vibe in the stadium? I know they were booing. How bad was the vibe in the stadium?
It's pretty bad, man. Even before, you had people leaving the game before the first half ended.
Yeah.
It just, the fans, you gotta understand there is a strong contention out there that does want RG3 or Colt McCoy to be the starting quarterback for the team. So when it started off that way, especially when the kid Howard, the defensive end, got that fumble recovery and took it in for a touchdown for Tampa Bay, it was like, oh man, like this is gonna be an ugly game. As soon as that play happened, you had people, rushing out of the stadium, and
right.
They're booing the team, and it's early. It's very early, so the morale was bad. It wasn't a packed house. It was, they're playing Tampa, so it was going to be a packed house.
Right.
And the morale was bad. It was bad, just to the point where the team was down 24-0 to a team that wasn't a powerhouse. Jameis Winston did whatever he wanted to So it just looked bad. The morale was bad at that time.
Yeah, man, and I know being able to step aside, like, because being a fan of a team and then covering in a media capacity, I know you kind of have to separate the two because I know I'm curious in the booth with all the other media personalities.
Oh man,
I mean, I know you probably hear some things that you wouldn't believe, but I know the game from the media perspective is totally different. I mean, I know you guys watch it differently, but I have to feel like with you guys covering the team, you get attached just as much as the fans are.
Of course, man. I grew up a diehard Redskins fan, so obviously it's a blessing in the skies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you gotta also understand that you're there to do a business. You're there to do a job.
Yeah.
You're not there to cheer. But it's funny. Obviously you get both sides of the spectrum. Tampa Bay had their press people at the game, and we're all together in one row. And I saw these Tampa Bay Buccaneers media guys like root for this team, like literally like cheer for every little play, give each other fist bumps and stuff like that. And it was amazing. I'm like, wow, like they announced it. The press box announces no cheering in the first row.
Right.
I had to chuckle off that. But yeah, you gotta be a professional. You can't let your biases play a part. Like again, I have my favorite players. I have this, that, the other. But you can't be biased in the situation. You gotta, call it for what it is or report on what you see. So, it's a blessing. It's good, but you gotta definitely try to be, you gotta critique everything. You can't cheer out there. You just gotta say, okay, you know what? I'm there to dissect things. So anytime I'm at the game, I'm jotting down questions where I can ask Jay Gruden what players I want to map out or get at when the game is over. So it's like I'm not really, like if I was at home, I'm cheering, hooping, and hollering.
Right.
When I'm at the game, I'm pretty much dissecting, okay, what question should I ask Coach Gruden? Or which players should I target? Which players did this? What players did that? You know what I mean? So, and when you're in the game, it's you're watching the game, don't get me wrong, and you're enjoying what you're seeing, you still have that fandom involved. You can't really subtract it, totally. So don't let anybody fool you and say, well, yeah, you can't have any piece
right.
of fandom. That's human nature. But
you're going to be a fan.
Exactly, but you do have to recognize you're there to compete at that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Wiley, I'll say this going forward, man. I mean, I'm not expecting much from the guys this season, but what did yesterday's game show you kind of going forward, just on a brief outlook of the season going forward?
Well, they do have a lot to work on. Defensively, there's a problem. There's a big problem. Yeah. It's a big problem defensively. Going into the season, everybody, all the observers, all the experts on the defense would be vastly improved compared to what the Reds had to deal with in the last couple of seasons. But now fans, we've all seen this team struggle in the secondary over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
It seems like now the run defense is work for the secondary at this point in time. So they'll have to fix that up. It seems like teams are now running more stretch zone plays, or running more pitches to make the defensive line move and shift, and the linebackers are getting out to the gap. So they're gonna have to fix that. That's something they're gonna have to adjust. They played south earlier. Now they have to kind of see what defenses, what the other offenses and what the offensive lines are doing. So to me, they're gonna have to work on stretch zone, stopping the stretch zone play. They're gonna have to work on having their defensive linemen move laterally, and also have their linebackers stay in their gap. They can do that, and they can return back to what they were doing in the beginning of the season, stopping the run. Offensively, Kirk Cousins has nothing to do but grow from that great play on Sunday. He can improve on this. No one's asking him to be Tom Brady. No one's asking him to be Peyton Manning. No one's asking him to be Drew Brees. All Redskin fans, and I've been on social media, all Redskin fans are asking for this dude to be consistent. That's it. Consistent. Not to lose games, but help the team win games. So if he can do all that, this team, the sky's the limit to me. Don't forget, they got to get healthy.
Absolutely.
I'm not saying the team is a playoff team, but I'm just saying, like, the sky's the limit because the NFC East is weak right now at this point in time. So they got an opportunity. So they can get Deshaun Jackson back. They got Jordan Reed. You see how important Jordan Reed to this team. Jordan Reed, they need is a Pro Bowl tight end.
Yes, he is.
He has to stay on the field. He just got to stay on the field. So you see how important he is. He is like the biggest weapon offensively for this team at the moment. Obviously, the Alpha Morris, Matt Jones situation is very interesting right now. After the game, Alpha Morris is available to talk to. to the media.
Right.
Today, on Sunday he wasn't. So that tells you a lot right now what's going on with the Alpha Moore situation. So we're gonna have to all see how that plays out with the run game. So the run game hasn't given the team jack, so they have to. But we all know that this team needs to rely on the run game for the team to be effective. You still have to use the run game to set the pass one way or the other. So that's the way. That's what it is right now. But how they get this team going down the road, they gotta get stronger defensively. That's one thing they have to. I'm not saying they have to be the Seattle Seahawks. They have to be stronger defensively because you can't rely on Kirk Cousins to have games like he did on Sunday. You would like him to have a ladder. If he can do that, then you're fine.
Absolutely. Wally, man, real quick, we got to get ready to go in the overtime session. But tell everybody where they can find you, where they can listen to your show, everywhere, man.
All right, so I'm on Fox, like you mentioned. I'm on Fox Sports, 1340 AM, Hopewell, Virginia. You're not located in the Richmond area, located where I'm at, indeed, the true DMV. You can catch our stuff on our stream site, which is www.foxsports1340am.com. Right, just listen into it from 5 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Also, I have a podcast on every Tuesday, 7:30. It's called the Urban Sports Team. We're on from 7:30 to 9:30. So you can check us out at www.waleo, Waleo is spelled WALEO.podbean.com. And also I'm on Twitter and Facebook. Just search the Urban Sports Team on both platforms. It's a blessing to be on the show, man. I appreciate you putting me on. It's been a great experience.
Hey, Wally, it's nothing, man. I'm glad you're able to come on. And anytime you want to take some time and come on, man, you always got a home here in our overtime segment, bro.
I appreciate it, brother. I'll definitely take advantage of that situation, my man.
All right, thanks, Wally. Appreciate you again, brother.
All right, take care.
Later.
Take care, same here.
That's my man Wally getting it in right here on Win and Lose Radio in our overtime segment. So everybody that hung on, I appreciate you guys. So we're going to see you next week for episode 113 on Win and Lose Radio and WTTSradio.com. Y'all stay blessed. Be good. We'll see you.